Hey there friends, welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal Idunyate and today we are going to be working once again in my Week in the Life journal for 2022. I currently have Monday and Tuesday completed in this journal. You can see the process video for Tuesday in the video that I'll link up at the eye, and the process for my intro and Monday are located over on the Allie Edwards Craft the Story Facebook group, so you can check out that there. Now today we are diving into Wednesday. And once again, starting with the mind map here and my hourly journaling, which is already completed. These are things that I did throughout the week as it was happening. If you want to see the mind map here come together, I do have a very quick video that shows you all of the stamping and the coloring and the writing and all of that fun stuff over on Instagram. And I will link that video in the description down below as well. Aside from that, I do have the rest of my stamping and my journaling already completed here. And I have completed some journaling here, which you'll see what goes on the edge of this as we get into it. This is the last page in each of the days where I used one of the large plastic word phrases as my prompt for journaling for that day. So I am going to put you on fast forward, do a little bit of voiceover over the top, and once I have the pages done, we'll slow back down and close out with some last wrap-up comments. So let's go ahead and dive into this project. All right, friends, so what I'm going to do here first is pull out all of the product and the pictures that I have set aside for each of the individual pages within my notebook. Then I'm going to go page by page, putting together all of the components. So adding, like for example, this first one, I'm going to go ahead and create the flip out with my transparency and then add the embellishments on top of the transparency. And then I'm going to add my tape on the back of the full page photo. So it is essentially ready to go inside of the notebook. Once I get through this pile of stuff. It's much easier for me to go ahead and add all of my embellishments, attach on all of the title pieces to these photos, and then add the photos into the notebook than it would be for me to add everything into the notebook and then put the embellishments on top of that. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. This also means it's a little bit more of a streamlined process to put all of the elements together. For this first one, I am starting again with a full page photo that's behind a flip out transparency. I added the gold foil Wednesday, abbreviated Wednesday, with a black phrase, it's a plastic phrase across the middle of the Wednesday word. And the photo behind that is just a picture of my dad with Jonah on his shoulders and holding on to Isabella's hand. On Wednesday, our family went up to a touristy town here in Michigan called Frankenmuth. We had some family visiting from out of state, and they wanted to go to the largest Christmas store in the country, which is in that town. It's called Bronner's. So we enjoyed an evening walking through Bronner's in the middle of summer, and then went out to dinner afterwards. So that is the picture that I chose as my opening page. You can see that I am working through all of the different photos and elements that I'm going to eventually paste into my notebook, adding this double-sided score tape to the back side of all of them. I typically choose to use my double-sided score tape or double-sided adhesive when I'm adding elements into a notebook, since they're not going to be in a protected sleeve, because the score tape holds the elements onto the page a little bit tighter. It's much more difficult to take those pieces back off, which is problematic if you accidentally adhere something into the notebook wrong. So you just want to make sure to triple check yourself before adding anything into the notebook so that you don't end up putting photos inside of it upside down, which is exactly what I've done on both Monday and Tuesday. But we are living with it. It's totally fine. This card here is just going to be a filler card. I used the orange polka dot card. I added a round sticker label from Ali Edwards' Storytelling Basics collection. And then I added a chipboard on top of the label, but I removed a bunch of the chipboard backing off of it and then put the double-sided tape on it so I could stick it onto the label itself. This card here holds 5 little square pieces of ephemera that I collected throughout the week. I cut down those pieces to 1.75 inches square and then put them into each of the 5 squares in the grid on the 4x6 card. We are almost done with prepping all of these pages. The plastic phrase that you see there is going to go on a special page that I created inside of my notebook on one of the blank grid pages or the dot grid pages. I used the real life right now plastic phrase as a jumping off point or a prompt for a deeper story from this particular day. The story that I told with that particular prompt was about going shopping with young children and how unbelievably stressful it is. It's just really not fun to go shopping with young kids, especially Isabella is usually pretty good right now, and she's always been fairly good, but Jonah is not super great in confined spaces with lots of glass things. So I talked about real life right now being the ultimate stress of going shopping in a glass ornament covered store. And that's just, it was not fun. I was very glad when we were done being there. Now, because that's going directly onto the page here in my notebook, I am stapling the plastic on so that it doesn't have any adhesive showing underneath the plastic piece itself. I used the tiny attacher on the top part, but then I needed to use my long arm stapler to get the bottom portion adhered down. And then I took another one of those plastic black phrases, stuck it on top of a vellum floral piece, and then glued that down into the album or into the notebook as well. Once I have that part done, I'm then going to start at the beginning and add all of my photos and elements into the pages one at a time. The reason I did the plastic piece first is because the back side of that page is now going to have the back side of the staples showing. Once I adhere the photo into it though, you'll have no idea. Those pieces of the stapler or the staples will be totally covered up. This page right here is one that was a layer template from the 6x8 layer template variety pack in 2022, the 2022 release. I did go ahead and alter it so I removed one of the squares out so I could staple in the vellum heart that has the abbreviated day on it. And I also deleted out a bottom one on the bottom row where I added in a QR code instead. And that QR code leads to a video that has some clips from this particular day that I shared over on Instagram. Next up, we have the What I Want to Remember page. Again, I went through my photos and picked ones from moments that had parts of the story that I want to remember in years to come. So for this particular day, I have a picture of the kids going to our friend's house, their aunt and uncle. They are our family friends, but we call them aunt and uncle, and just talking about how excited they are to spend time with them. I have a picture of the kids playing on the music instruments that were outside in the park at Frankenmuth and talking about their curiosity and how they love to play together. I have one from dinner where my cousin and my daughter are chit-chatting together and giggling, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about their relationship. I want to remember that. I had one with Jonah on my dad's shoulders, and I wanted to remember those parts of their relationship, how they're just super silly together. And then the last one was a picture of Aaron driving in our car and talking about that I love driving in the car with Aaron because I feel like we just talk more than we do almost any other time of the day, and it's a major time for us to connect. On this next page, this was a blank page that I made my own. I've got the 6x4 card on the bottom that has all of those ephemera pieces in it. And then I've got the 3x4 card on the top, which is just the filler. And then I have a photo of my cat on my bed. And then the large photo here was buying cat food at the store. So I do kind of have those two photos seem to go together because they're both cat-ish, but they're not from the same moment in the day. For the photo in the aisle where I'm grabbing the cat food off of the shelf, I just propped my phone up on the shopping cart and set a timer so that it would take a couple of pictures of me in the hall or in that aisleway, and I picked the best one, the one I liked the best. Last but not least, I've got another large photo or full page photo of the kids outside of a shop in Frankenmuth, since the story that I'm telling here is about shopping with them. So again, I just tried to pick photos that I, number one, loved, and that number two also helped to tell more of that story. All right, friends, that completes my Wednesday pages. So here is a quick flip through that just shows you everything that we got done here during today's video. Super loving the way that this is going together, and I feel like I finally have my process down for how to actually get everything into the album without messing up, which is always a plus. All right, friends, next week I'm going to be back hopefully again on Monday, and we'll put together my Thursday pages. I am starting with just the journaling and the stamping done, so we'll have to add all of the pieces in for that day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love a thumbs up on the video down below. And if you are not a current subscriber, I hope you consider subscribing to my channel. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, friends.